let's get moving. And then we can chat a little bit more just before we sit. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You outside, Irina? Just okay, I hope you're undercover then. I presume you will be. Good. So just a few minutes of movement before we get into the meditation part. But of course the movement can also be very much part of a meditation. When I'm feeling extremely unsettled, I prefer to do a movement meditation. I find it easier to feel grounded. So however you're moving this morning, I invite you to make it as mindful as you can and really feel the movements, really feel what the movements are eliciting, giving rise to in yourself, physically, emotionally. Let us start off with my absolute favorite cat-cow, which is, people often ask me what to do in a home practice, and I always say, if there's one thing that you do cat-cow. First thing in the morning, last thing at night. It is a miracle movement. It wakes up your body, wakes up your spine, realigns all your vertebrae. But by using the breath in rhythm with the movement, you can really make it a beautifully meditative movement. So the setup, the hands are beneath the shoulders, the knees are beneath the hips, the feet outstretched behind the knees, fronts of the feet flat on the mat. Fingers spread nice and wide, and check that you're pressing down, especially through the thumb and the forefinger, so you're not just resting on the outer edges of your hands. This is an important part. You draw your belly button up towards your spine, so there's already a little bit of engagement there. And you are lifting tall out of your shoulders, so there's a slight lift between the shoulder blades, rather than collapsing like that. There's a sense of lifting and strengthening. Good. So, inhaling, dropping your belly, lifting your chin, lifting your tail. Exhale, you start the movement at the small of the back as you round your spine into cat pose, tucking your chin, tucking your tail, drawing your belly button in and up as you press through the hands and the shins. Inhale, reverse the movement to cow. Lift the chin, lift the tail. Exhaling, coming to cat. Inhale to cow. Through the mouth, exhale. Two more, just like that, at your own pace. Closing your eyes. Last one. Inhaling to a neutral spine. Bring your left hand underneath your gaze. Right hand up towards the sky for threading the needle. But before you thread, really feel this opening as you lift your right fingertips up towards the sky. So your heart is towards the right. Your hips are centered. And then as you exhale, you bring your right hand all the way down through underneath your left armpit. Reach that right hand as far away from the left side of your mat as you can. Let's do it dynamically. Again, inhale as you unthread, right arm up. Exhale, threading. Inhaling again, lifting up. Exhale, threading the needle all the way. So drop down onto your right shoulder. Resting your head on the mat. Your right palm is facing up. And you can keep your left hand in front of your face, or you can extend your left arm to the top of your mat. And just breathe. You can stay there, or you can wrap your left arm up and then around your right inner waist, or even your right inner thigh, which will help you to peel that left shoulder back, getting a bit more of a twist, but not going too far, staying with whatever feels comfortable for you. And then releasing your left hand wherever it is, back down onto the mat in front of your face. Press down with your left hand as you gently uncurl right arm back up towards the sky. And exhale, releasing all the way down. Look at the difference in your hand colors. Gravity is a thing. So left hand, your right hand is positioned directly beneath your gaze. Inhale, left arm up towards the sky, opening your heart towards the left, drawing in your navel, keeping your hips centered, and then exhale as you thread the needle dynamically 3 times. That's 1. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you thread. Inhale to lift. Exhale as you thread. Inhale to lift. And exhale to find that static pose. So the left arm is extended underneath you. Your left hand faces up towards the sky. And you're resting on the left shoulder. If there's pain, then obviously just backtrack. Don't put as much pressure as you would otherwise. And start connecting with your breath. Maybe extending the right arm to the top of the mat if you did that before. And if you want to, if you did the bind, you can bring your right arm up to the sky, wrap it around your back, around your left inner waist, or even your left inner thigh, if that is accessible to you. Otherwise, just stay where you are. And releasing your right arm, pressing the right hand down in front of the face. As you slowly draw yourself up, left arm lifts up towards the sky. Hold it there for a moment. And then releasing the left hand down. Again, looking at the difference in colour of your hands. Just some circles for the ankles. So you're still on your hands and knees, tabletop, but you're circling your ankles the one way and the the other way. Pointing and flexing. Good, and now we're going to tuck the toes under. And scooch the hips to the left and the feet around to the front. How are we doing for time? Got a couple of minutes. Okay. Morning. Thanks to everyone who's joined us since I last checked. Feet together, knees out to the side, Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. You can have your feet close to your body, but further away. Leaning forward, sitting forward, drawing out any flesh behind you and holding onto your ankles. Just flapping the knees. Close your eyes, just listen to my verbal cues if you can. Just flapping your knees. The spine is lengthened, the shoulders are relaxed. And if you can keep your eyes closed, do so. We're going to deepen that movement. So as we inhale, we're going to lift the knees all the way up towards the elbows. And as we exhale, we're going to press the knees down towards the earth. You can even lean forward a bit if that feels good. Inhale as you lift the knees, lengthen the spine. Exhale. Pressing the knees down. Leaning forward if it feels comfortable for you. Inhale again, lifting the knees up. If you're familiar with Mula Bandha, engaging Mula Bandha. Exhale this time. You can come down as deep as you wish. So if you don't feel the ability this morning to go into a really deep forward fold, then you just stay wherever's comfortable. If you feel like there's capacity for a deep stretch, don't dive into it, just slowly work your way down towards it. Breathing as you go. The inhalation's always bringing length. And the exhalations allowing you to fold further forward. Slowly walking your hands back towards your body. Bringing the knees in together. Reaching forward, holding onto your feet. If you can grab your feet or your shins. And just rounding your spine. Just a nice stretch out between the shoulder blades. Just sitting for a moment, seeing how you feel in your body now that you've done some very simple stretches. Noticing any tingling, any pulsing. And you can stay as you are if this is how you're going to meditate. Otherwise, getting comfortable, making whatever changes you need. I'm going to come a little closer. So welcome everyone, lovely, wonderful, wonderful to have you all here from all over. We've got Dubai, we've got the UK, we've got just down the road. Welcome, welcome, wonderful, wonderful to have you here. So I may be wrong, but I think it's day 17 of the South African lockdown. and different things going on elsewhere in the world. Wherever you're joining us from, you are very, very welcome. And I just want to applaud you and commend you for showing up on a rainy, in South Africa, well, in the Western Cape, it's a rainy Sunday morning, Easter Sunday. You could very easily stay in your bed. Maybe you are still in your bed, which is fine, which is great. Just fabulous that you have shown up for yourself, not for me, for yourself. All right. As always, we start with the singing bowl. 3 chants of Om. Join me if you wish, or stay silent. Sitting up tall. Closing your eyes. Full breath in. Breath in. Breath in. If you want to, you may want to bring your hand, one hand to your heart, another hand to your belly, as you take another few deep breaths. Not worrying about me, worrying about yourself, turning your attention inwards as you use the next 5 to 10 breaths to get an accurate picture of how you're feeling this morning. Knowing that there is no right or wrong way to feel in the midst of a global pandemic. So not trying to create an experience as we sit together, but rather using it as an opportunity to see and feel and sense how you really are and what's coming up for you. Seeing whether you can distill how you're feeling into one word. Brushing away all the backstories, all the explanations, all the justifications, all the attempts to understand or to wish it were different, leaving you with just a shining crystal of how you really are this morning. Body, mind, soul. Allowing that crystal to be there, whether you find it acceptable or not, whether you find it comfortable or not. Trying to move from giving it a value judgment of good or bad, just allowing it to be. If you feel at ease with your hands on your heart and on your belly, by all means stay like that. If you want to bring your hands down into a different position, feel free to do that. As we turn our attention away from how we are feeling towards the physical body. Of course, knowing now how we're really feeling is going to inform how we move through our practice. Using the next breath in to become aware of the base of the body, whatever surface is supporting you. Using the out breath to totally surrender to that support. Noticing if you're somehow trying to hold yourself up off the surface that you're on, and seeing how it feels to perhaps use the next few out breaths to connect a little bit more fully with the support that is there. Next breath in, becoming aware of the beautiful length of your spine as the crown of the head reaches up towards the sky. Using your exhalation to relax into that lengthening. Whether you're sitting down, lying down, you're just checking that there is a beautiful lengthening of your spine to allow for a free flow of energy. If you're sitting, feeling that you are sitting in a position that embodies dignity and wakefulness, without being rigid. Next breath in, becoming aware of how your head is positioned on top of your neck, on top of your spine. Using the out breath to bring the chin parallel to the floor, or even tucking it in slightly, lengthening the back of the neck somewhat. And using the next few breaths to soften into all the muscles around the eyes, around the mouth, feeling that the lips are gently together, but the teeth are slightly apart so that the jaw can be completely relaxed. With the jawbone completely relaxed, there's a softening into the temples, and you might even visualize that your brain is relaxing. Next breath in, and we draw our attention to our shoulders, our neck, our heart space. Exhaling any tension that you may encounter in your shoulders, in your neck. For the next few breaths, holding the attention in that whole shoulder girdle, that whole area around the heart center, front and back of the heart. Just noticing what's going on there and seeing how safe it feels to use the out breaths to soften. So there's a softening of your heart space. Safe. At ease. Supported. If you're struggling to relax into your shoulders, maybe even use an in-breath to gently lift them up towards the ears. And the out-breath to draw them down away from the ears, even drawing them slightly back and down. The next breath. In, we bring our attention to the arms, and using the exhalation to soften into the length of both the arms and the hands The relaxation in the arms and the hands, softening the shoulders even a little bit more. Your hands can be in whatever position is comfortable for you. Next inhalation brings the attention to the belly area. Using the out-breath to soften all the muscles around the navel. So there's a sense of being beautifully supported by the spine, but feeling that the belly can be soft, so soft that you can take the next few breaths deep into your belly. Keeping that softening in the belly as you bring your attention now towards the gaze. If your eyes are closed, you might want to turn your attention to the point between the two eyebrows, so that the inner gaze is turned inwards and upwards slightly. It can be a beautiful resting place for the attention. If your eyes are open, just making sure that your eyelashes are together, so you're just gazing between your eyelashes at ease. Gazing at a point maybe 1 meter or 2 meters ahead of you. And becoming aware of your whole body. Feeling how it feels to be at ease whilst being alert. Giving the monkey mind something to do by focusing on the point in your body where you're most aware of your breath, or that point between your eyebrows. Or by practicing a rolling body scan where you're constantly using the in-breaths to check for tension and using your out-breaths to release into those areas. You might even want to use deep belly breathing as an anchor into the present moment. Softening the belly, Taking the deep breaths into the belly. And deep breaths out. You may want to use listening as an anchor. Listening to the sounds and listening to the silence. Every single time you become aware of having drifted off in thought, whether it happens once or repeatedly, the process is always the same. We notice when we've engaged in a thinking process. We can even notice what kind of thinking it is, whether it's a planning, worrying, analyzing, whatever it might be. We notice a pattern, and then we consciously choose to redirect our attention to our chosen anchor. Using that anchor to bring you back to the present moment and to stay in the present moment. And doing that as many times as you need to over the next few minutes of our sitting. When you come back to the present moment, noticing whether there is any tension associated with whatever you are thinking about. Noticing any physical charge in your body. Bringing you back into the present moment as you reconnect with your breath. Softening. 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 Coming back to your breath, to a body scan, to listening to that focused gaze between the eyebrows. Whatever your anchor, finding one that is working for you this morning. Dropping that anchor as many times as you need. When you feel that you're leaning into the future, when you feel that you are dwelling in the past, using that anchor to bring you right back into this moment. And this moment. And this moment. Just one Om, breathing in. Keeping your eyes closed, bringing your hands together, rubbing them together to generate some friction, some warmth. And then cupping them over your closed eyes. And gently opening your eyes into the warmth of your hands. Rolling the gaze up and down, all the way right, all the way left, top right, bottom left, top left, bottom right, all the way up, all the way down, center forward, and gently releasing your hands. Namaste. Thank you for joining me this morning. I am so inspired by everyone that shows up, despite the fact that you have every excuse to not show up. So whether you are still lying in your bed, whether you've been up for a number of hours already, thank you for joining me. I am, to be honest, quite overwhelmed by the by the number of people out there offering all these online practices. So the fact that you sat with me this morning doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you. If you're celebrating Easter, I wish you a happy Easter. I hope you get all the eggs. I hope the Easter bunny still comes. Hot cross buns. Hot cross buns are good though, Carolyn. Yay, let's hunt eggs. Beautiful. Thanks for showing up. Dankie, Christelle. Any questions before you dash off and eat all the chocolate and all the hot cross buns? Drift back to sleep? How's everyone doing? Oh, thank you. I've had a request to record some yin practices. I've actually had a few requests. And so I'm going to be doing that over the next few days. A bedtime routine is probably the one that I will do first. So keep your eyes peeled. My understanding, thanks Caroline, is that there are a lot of people who are falling asleep quite well because they're exhausted, and then struggling to sleep, or waking up at 2-3 in the morning and struggling to sleep. So I want to post over the next few days a few breathing exercises that you can do if you find that you are there and you could do with that. If there are any other requests, just send me a message and I'll see what I can do. Okay. Thank you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day wherever in the world you are. Thank you for joining me again. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place. Well, clearly same place. It's not even funny. Okay. Bye. Bye, Alette. You struggle to stay with your breath? Okay. So the breath usually works for you, Alette. Did you try some of the other anchors like the listening? Okay, you're going to send me a message. Beautiful. I look forward to receiving that. Just remember, you don't have a good meditation or a bad meditation. You just have a meditation. So whatever it is that happened, that's just part of the process. And it's wonderful to notice how different it can be on different days. There's some days where it's torturous, as I was saying yesterday, and there's some days that are calm and wonderful. So just interesting to notice what works the one day may not work the next day, but still we show up. Okay. Bye everyone. See you tomorrow.